Okay, now I have started recording. You can start now.
I started too. So we're here to discuss how a buyer prepares for a contract.
Mm-hmm.
And what the main thing is when you're a new agent, you really don't understand what you need, but it's so exciting. Your buyer says, wow, I want to put an offer in, and you're all excited and you're going to go home and you don't have all the information that you need to prepare a contract.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to review that with you. And I made a little worksheet here, a cheat sheet, so to speak, and I would take this with you in case you need to remind yourself when you're with your buyers. So preparing to write a contract, it's very important to be prepared. So you come home and you find out you don't remember the wife's name and you're in big trouble. You don't know how much they're putting down. Um, so here we go. Some of the things, the checklist I would like you to have prepared before you even engage us to help or even engage yourself to start to try to write a contract. You will need the buyer contact info, including their address details. Phone number, of course, you should have that already. Once you've engaged them as your buyer, you should probably already have that information, but make sure you have it all in one place. And then don't forget to discuss with the buyer, you know, my buyers for the purpose of today want to make a $500,000 offer on a home. Oh, I want to do a $500,000 offer. Okay, you get home. Did you discuss the details with the buyer? There's a number of lines that you have to fill out in the contract of when first deposits are due, second deposits are due, what's the mortgage amount. So at this juncture, you want to make sure you discuss that with the buyer. So in my pretend numbers, my buyers are going to put $500,000 down. They're going to leave a deposit of $100,000. Now, this should also be in their pre-approval letter. But you want to clarify these details. So they're putting 20% down. They want to make an offer of 500,000. Good. We can proceed from this point. You can explain the additional deposits to them later and how they are normally done. But you do want to discuss the details if there's special circumstances that they don't have the full 10%, perhaps as a gift from a parent, what have you. So discuss those details, write them down, then run your numbers, as I said, with them. Purchase price, initial deposit, additional deposit, what's the mortgage amount? And then you'll have a balance of purchase price due at closing. So the mortgage pre-approval, it's up to you, but I don't even take buyers out without a mortgage pre-approval. They don't know how much they can afford. You don't know how much they can afford. And you need it to make an offer. It's as simple as that. If you have a cash buyer, if you're fortunate enough to have a cash buyer, they don't just say they're going to pay cash. They have to provide proof of funds. A proof of funds letter can be obtained from their bank account, their banker, or their whatever, wherever they hold their money, whether it's their financial broker, that there needs to be a letter on the bank letterhead saying that this person has sufficient funds to purchase a such and such amount home. In a pinch, you can ask for all their statements, but you have to make sure you take a permanent magic marker and wipe out all the sensitive information that may be on that. I mean, they may want a proof of funds letter at some point, but at the very least, it's Sunday afternoon and you want to get this offer in because the house is going to sell fast. So you can do that in a pinch. Before you go to even show, print your full agent listings. You do not want to print the client version. You want to print the full listing where it has all the agent information, all the full information. Print in the Garden State MLS, it's called a tax fill. full, print the tax full. That has more information. You'll need lot, block, details about the property. Have these right in front of you. I like them printed in front of me. You can look them, go back and forth online, but I like them printed in front of me if I'm gonna sit down to prepare a contract. So the listing brokerage. This is important to know. The listing agent, which you probably already know because you contacted them to show, you'll need the listing agent contact information, including, well, I would do the brokerage first, listing brokerage, their address, their phone number, their rec number. Their rec number is the real estate commission number. It is not their number for the Garden State MLS, or it's not their number for CJ MLS. The rec number is the real estate commissions. It's the license number. Now, Bright MLS has it right there in front of you in the printout. It's perfect. Garden State MLS is a little more convoluted. You have to click on the listing online next to the listing brokerage to get their number and the listing agent to get their number. So make sure you have, and the address too. I mean, Whitegert sometimes it has a central location, but they may be in a different town. So get all your information. We're getting close. Take note on the listing if there's inclusions, exclusions. I know the listings are very detailed and a little hard to read when you're new, but take a look around and see if there's any chandelier, say. The chandelier in the dining room is not included. Are the appliances included? Now, the attached appliances are automatic unless they're listed as an exclusion. So you will want to check and see if a refrigerator, a washer and dryer are included or not. Because I like to add this to my contract just to be on the safe side. So there's no one moving a refrigerator out when they expect it to be there on move-in day. So review the features I want to review the features of the intranet first before we completely go into command here. So I'm going to move over to my KW. This is one of the first things, of course, set yourself up on your MLS systems. Of course, get onboarded, get in with Core or whomever you're going to be, whomever your board's going to be, and get set up on my KW. Now, of course, the first thing we see is command login. So we're going to not log in yet to command login. And the reason why I'm taking a little divergent path here is I've gotten a lot of phone calls over the weekend and this past week about where do I find the documents? Where's the documents? Where's the documents? Some people, you are still allowed to hand fill out a contract listing agreement. Sometimes it's beneficial to have the listing agreement with you in a listing appointment, because you might now want to say, oh, I got to go home and write up everything and send you a DocuSign. If they're ready to go, you might want them to sign right there. You can always manually upload into Command or into DocuSign. It's just that you have to, when you manually upload, you'll have to manually put all the information. So I just want to take a quick little browse here. There's not too much going on in this portion. So we're going to go down, down, down to the bottom right. And it really should be, quick links should be a little bit more obvious, but down here on your left, my KW MC 705 intranet. Boom. Okay, and then we're going to go up here to the top market center. Oh, by the way, you have your calendar there if you'd like to browse that.
Gina,
Market
hello?
center, documents, yes.
Your screen is stuck. We can only see a single page, a single PDF
Oh, I can.
that is open.
Okay, how do I make the switch? Should I just share? Okay, we had a little technical difficulty. I'm going to start from the beginning. Might be a little redundant, but you get into my KW, go down, 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 down to the bottom here. It's not that obvious. My KW MC 705 intranet. Up here on top left, Market Center. You also have your calendar and some other interesting news. But this is to get into some blank documents. So under Market Center documents, there you go. There's quite a bit of documents here. There's probably more than you probably won't need most of these most of the time. Most of your documents are under Market Center documents. So you can always pull, share, send to your email if you want. Presentations, there's lots of useful documents. But most of your documents are going to be down here, the Market Center. So I just wanted to quickly, briefly go into that before we go back to return to my KW to get to the home. Here's your command login. You should already be set up. I save my passwords. If not, you have to log in. Okay, so pretty much if you haven't familiarized yourself, all your stuff's on the left here. I sometimes confuse the referrals with the contacts because they look very similar. So let's go back to our instructions of how to get that contract going. The very, very, very first thing you have to do is you have to add your contact if you don't already have them in there. Now I have 2 unmarried buyers. I've already uploaded them into my contacts. So we see all the contacts here. So I got John Smith. John Smith is there. Then I have Mary. Okay, good. I made sure. If not, you'll be add new contacts. You'll be adding John and Mary in, but I've already done that. So next thing you do is go to opportunities. And the way if you exited this to see all your opportunities, you're gonna go like that. I can see all my opportunities now, what's closed, what I'm working on. Some are just contacts. So go back to, does not matter now. So we're going to go up here to start a new opportunity, create opportunity. So we're not in DocuSign yet, we're in Command. You're going to want to fill this out as much as possible. But the more you fill out, the more that will autofill buyer. I'm not on a team. Client. So we already have John. Let's see, John's going to come up. John Smith. Okay, co-buyer. So it allows you to put 2 different buyers in. You have Mary Quite Contrary. Just scroll down a little bit. Okay, so we have our two people. Opportunity name. You can just put it under John Smith Buyer. You can create your own name, John and Mary. Custom tags. I don't really put a custom tag generally. Estimated closing date. Oh, and I didn't mention that. That's one of the details you want to discuss with your buyers in the beginning. When do they want to close? You want to, leave a reasonable amount of time. I mean, you can always move the closing up, but you also want to appeal to the person the seller that you're presenting the offer to. So you don't want to say, I want to close in 3 months, because they're going to go with someone else. It's a competitive market. So 5 to 6 weeks is a reasonable amount of time for closing. So let's say May 30th. No, let's say May 25th. So I might have to call my buyers. I forgot to ask them that. Now we'll put May 25th in. It's not a Saturday. Time frame. So this is more this is more for if you're cultivating. We're already to the point of making a contract. Budget. Might as well just put. Is the closest thing. Commission rate. More often than not, it's 2.5. That's another reason you have the listing sitting here. You want to double check that. So we created our opportunity. So that brings us to this screen. This is like our dashboard of the opportunity. So we can go into, now we know the property. Well, I'm going to make one up, but you should know what the property is. So buyer, John Smith. Opportunity ID, John Smith. Co-buyer, active. Custom tags, that's what we just put in. If you need to edit anything, it's very faint, but it's this little pencil over here. And creating the opportunity today, estimated close date, contract date, appointment date, escrow signing date, close date. Now these things will be added later. We don't even know if our offer is accepted. And again, that would be by there. But we do want to put some information for the contract. Property, edit, country. Should write down this fake address. No, doesn't matter. Ooh. Yeah. Mockingbird Leap. Does the property need to exist? Okay, it might need to. I'll put our address. It's not a 92. Actually, that's the township address, so we're going to put the postal address as the mailing address. Should we put? No, let's leave Montgomery. No options. No options for state. Very strange.
You can just hit the save button. I think it will be automatically pulled.
Yeah, there's no places here for adding any numbers, so. The earnest money would be generally, and some agents don't even care if you do this anymore, but generally you put $1,000 check down. I don't generally take the check. I say to send it to the title company or the buyer's attorney, but you want a picture of the check to present with your offer. So that's a little side note. So the earnest money, that's strange. I missed that. Oh. Okay, so I can't. I never filled this in before, so let's just not do it. So buyer profile, the details, the buyer profile. Yeah, that's things associated with the app. It might be with regard to smart plans you've created. It's not really important. Documents. It's good to know what documents you're going to need for under contract. If you really just want to put an offer in, you can go with just a CIS and a contract to get the offer in. But once you're negotiated and you know what you need, I mean, you can't do the commission statement yet because there's going to be a negotiation. So I would say for an offer, don't do all these things. This is listed. Okay, this is something that I do want to address because it's listed in our required documentation for a buyer. But it's not the buyer, something the buyer fills out first. The sellers have to fill out the lead paint and the seller's disclosure. The lead paint is anything before 1978. So you will either be requesting the sellers filled out one out before you have your client sign. Oftentimes the agent, the selling agent, I mean the listing agent puts it into the listing. You can find it there, or you can request it by email. So oftentimes you might want to ask for it ahead of time because sometimes the buyers want to see this. If there's anything wrong with the property. So these are the required documents, just so you know. Commission statement you do later. So you will have to come back in here again anyway to do your commission statement. And so you can do some of these other less important documents. Home warranty. Dual agency, that's conditional, but I like it to be signed always on a listing because you never know with a listing. So what dual agency means is that you're representing both the buyer and the seller. So you're going to have them do a dual agency with an offer if it's your own listing. On a listing appointment, I always fill it out because you never know. So you're going to definitely need these two things. Contract to sale. And it says contract to sale and opinion 26. It's just the contract to sale. The opinion 26 has been converged over the years to be all one and the same document. It used to be a separate thing you had to put on top. And the CIS, or the consumer information statement. So it's good to see these things. And we'll get into later on when the offers are accepted. Then you're going to get into the nitty gritty over here. But for now, just to start a DocuSign, start a transaction. Oh, forgot one thing. We got to go back. Okay. Here's the tricky part. Working folder. Okay, you can do room docs. And there's a way to do it from your computer. So later on, when you get that seller's disclosure that's already been handwritten by the seller, you will definitely be uploading a PDF from your computer to have your client sign because you'll be receiving it from the seller. So that's what you're going to do when you want to upload to DocuSign your document. You can upload some from my computer. but it's making me choose. So I'm choosing DocuSign. And the working folder is Room Docs. Go to transaction. So it makes you log in again. You're going to have a different login for your DocuSign. I saved mine. Okay, add documents to your room. Now we have quite a nice variety here. I can, again, choose my computer or DocuSign forms. So we will look. Now, I'm representing the buyers and the listing agent represents the sellers. But when you're representing the buyer, it's also called sales documents instead of listing documents. So don't let that confuse you. That's not for the seller, that's for the buyer. Now, sometimes you need addendums. Probably the ones, a lot of these are things you may not need often. When you have a private well, probably the most you're going to use is condominium associations. That gets sent along with your contract and your offer. Contract for sale, Form 118, contract for sale. So we're going to check that. Okay. A buyer CIS. These are the two main documents we're going to. So we go over here to the left, add selected. We have our two documents. We're going to have to select them again. Every time there's a blank little box, you select again. Nothing else here on the bottom. So what are we going to choose? Create envelope. That's what they call it when you're creating a DocuSign. So recipients will be the buyer's agent, me. And this is out of order. It's alphabetical. Buyer 1, buyer 2. And that's it. Continue. Check in the recipients, me, John Smith, Mary Quig Contrary. Yeah, they're using my old email addresses. You're going to add a message. We can't assume everyone's tech savvy. And I don't feel that I am, but there's some people way less than me. So I like to put in my my welcome letter. Hi, John and Mary. Here's your paperwork. Here's blah, blah, blah. If you have any questions, call. We're not going to read all that. Then I'll put just let the DocuSign take you. Do not try to type or scroll. Just let it take and click once. Just be nicey nice before and after before you're insulting them there, because I've had people saying I can't type in my initials. I keep scrolling, but it says I'm not done. So I usually put a little instruction there. Any questions, give me a call. You don't really want that call, but okay. Okay, standard fields. Now, I want to make sure it's on me for this. I don't know why. Yeah, I guess they don't know. This should all be automatic. So I think we're gonna do a checkbox. I represent the buyer, not the seller. Okay. Okay, we're making sure the signatures are in there. Okay, I add text here because my name's not coming up automatically. So I want my printed name. There's a place for me to sign, but prepared by me. So. Hey, John Smith, Mary Quicken Terry, address 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, they did have an address. That didn't automatically complete though. Anyway, make up an address. Doesn't matter what we put here. This is not real. You just, where it has proposed text, you can add it in. On that other spot on the first page, I had to manually go to the left and put something because it didn't have proposed text. Agrees to purchase from. This is what I was talking about. Have all your information written out. You're gonna have to know seller's name, seller's address. They don't always reside in the home. It could be second home, could be their mom's home that she passed. So you're gonna fill in that. Oh, and the address is for both. Okay, see. Go down. Text. Now, this is why you printed out your tax report. Now, again, if you're more computer oriented, you could just have that in another tab. The tax full and the full listing. So you're going to show probably a lot of this on your full listing, but tax map of Montgomery. Just to see, did I spell right? Okay. Lot and block. That's going to be on Garden State MLS listings, but not all listings from all MLS systems. I don't think Ocean County has the lot and the block on there. You need the tax. So qualifier, that's an interesting question. You may not notice this normally on your tax fulls or listings, but typically if it's a condo, it's going to be something like C and the unit number. But we know 2230 is not a condo. So they already pre-filled their purchase price. This is what I was talking about. I made my pretend numbers very easy. Don't laugh, but we don't want to, you're going to use a calculator later on. So typically the initial deposit's what's called the good faith deposit. So you're going to put 1,000 additional deposit. So this is something, it is of your choice what to do, but you also want to show in this market with it being competitive, you want to show the seller that you're going to put some money up front before the closing. It's going to be held in escrow, usually by the title company or the buyer's attorney, but you want to make sure you're showing them some good faith, that you got some skin in the game. You could put 1,000 here, you could put 10,000, won't look good unless it was a much lower price place. Now, if your buyer is an FHA buyer and they're only putting 5% down, or they're just only putting 5% down, you would probably put the total amount of their deposit. So if they're putting 10% down, you probably do like 25 and 25,000. But for these guys, they're gonna work, they're very conventional people. They're putting 20% down, so that's $100,000. They want to show good faith. They could go with 20,000, but I say do half the deposit, 50,000. Okay, and the mortgage amount. You already kind of did some math on this on the side on the scratch paper because it'd probably be, oh, whoops, excuse me. Hello. We put we have the $1,000, so this is 49. My error. No, and I want to space that off. This doesn't look good. Oops. It won't let me back in. Okay, pretend I didn't make that error. Wow. I can add a text box here. That was not good. So now I got to add a text box. Here's how we can add my text. We're going to do 49,000 because we already have the $1,000 deposit. See, there's that I showed you a way around making a mistake. So then we know it's not text. And I would make it look neater and space them out so they're all even in a row. But just for the purpose of learning. Balance of purchase price will be 50,000. You're going to double check with your calculator. Let's go to our next page. It's okay, manner of payment. I like to say, because I also, for all my buyers, of course, I use Visionary. And I also do the closing, so I do the title company. So initial deposit goes to, and this one, I think I need a check mark. Title company. It could be a little neater than that. Initial deposit. Oh, additional deposit. So that's that numbers on the other page where I said, so the $1,000 is on or before, what should we say, on or before? 5 days.
Closing?
No, that's not, yeah, that's for the additional deposit. The initial $1,000, we'll say 5 days. You just usually send it right over. Additional deposit, I do 10 days after attorney review. Because even though attorney review is supposed to be 3 days, it can be a week. So that's that additional deposit, that interim deposit that happens kind of in the middle. After usually right after attorney review. That's that skin in the game monies. So we're going to put, well, we can refer back to the page before. Remember, it was purchase price, good faith deposit of 1,000. The additional deposit was 49,000, making a total money held in escrow of 50,000. So we're going to put that 49,000 in here. And then we're going to say, oh, this is 10 days after 10 days after contract has been, oh, that's already filled out. They keep changing the contract. Okay, so the attorney trust of, I'm going to put Visionary abstract. We don't have to, we could write services too if we wanted to. So everyone's seemingly following me. Now, I did my pretend buyer as a conventional loan, but there's various loans. So this is where you're gonna need your pre-approval. You're gonna refer to your pre-approval. Generally, 20% down is a conventional loan. So they don't have like, I don't think, oh, I do, principal amount. So you have to be like, you have to lay out the mortgage, term of mortgage. So that's another thing that's gonna be on your pre-approval. Whether it's a 30-year or 15, that's what term of mortgage means. 10-year mortgage, 30-year, 30 years typical. The principal amount as from our little, and I have my little notes on the side here. Because I wrote down mortgage amount after my conversations with my buyers, which is that. Oh, it already has the decimal point. There. Does it? Okay. Other term of mortgage. What is that? Principal amount, conventional. Why is there text here? Oh, that's for other. So we're going to choose conventional. That I could just click. I guess I could have done that up top. Anyway. So the principal amount of the mortgage is 400,000. We're looking at referring to our buyer's pre-approval for this. The style of mortgage is conventional. There's FHA, there's VA, which is Veterans Association. A 203K is like a rehab loan that they give you more money so that you can fix up a house that's in disrepair. That's a very specialty type of loan. But you're going to know that from your mortgage pre-approval, and you're going to fill in the blanks, whatever. So term of mortgage means time, 20-year, 30-year, 15-year. So we're going to say 30 years. And must be delivered to the seller's agent whose listing broker identified the seller's attorney no later than. So we're looking for when the mortgage commitment is due. And that depends on the length of time we have till closing. And we got to make it a reasonable amount of time. The commitment doesn't come right away that we have a pre-approval. So I would say 4 to 4 weeks is probably pretty generous amount. We don't want to cut that too short. If we scheduled our closing date for what were we going to do, May 25th? So we'll pick a day. We look at a calendar and we pick maybe 4 weeks out. So say May 2nd. We'll look at the days of the week too, that you don't want it on a weekend. And that's subjective of what you're deciding. Payment of the purchase price, balance of purchase price. This is where your closing is. So the additional deposit was above, and this part does get a little confusing when you're filling it out. So we already decided 525, and it took the liberty of putting that in there. 525, so no more text is needed. Yep. I usually put the day of the week too. You don't have to. And see, now we're double checking everything's in there. Okay, so what needs to be attached here? Oh, I need the backspace. I don't remember what I put here. Oh, we do the flip thing. You could change it to 10 days. Pretty much, I mean, I don't know if we're just getting too bored with me filling everything out. So let me just continue on through, because we already showed everyone how to fill out everything out. So these are the areas where we're going to put items excluded from sale and items included. There may be an item that's a gray area item, like, and your buyers want to propose that they get to keep the TV that's attached to the wall. You might want to put that included. It might be negotiated later on, but items excluded are what, if there's something in the listing like a chandelier or something that's not staying with the house, the listing would have to say so, and you would put that in there. So dates and times of performance. I generally leave whatever is normally in the contract blank. Okay, buyer selects. So this is where we get to now. This is a newer thing for realtors. We get to now choose our title company. We're going to put Visionary in, of course. Municipal assessments. Now, this would have to be a specialty thing that would have to be disclosed. Some things really should be disclosed in the listing, but it should be in the seller's disclosure. But if I didn't hear directly that there is any kind of municipal assessment, I'm going to say seller represents that has not been notified. Has not. Make sure you do it so. Has not. Why did both those things go? That's weird. Okay, I don't know why they did it. Okay, guys, now I'm getting silly. I think I'll just have to trash all these. Okay, I'll do that later. I'll fix that later. But you want to say has not, and blah, 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 blah. This is one thing that no one ever knows what to put there. With the exception of 2-family, 3-family, even condos are single family. So the word is single that goes in here. Single. I think it's better when you add this stuff over here. You can do it that way too. Tenancies. So if there's any tenants in the home, meaning renters, you're going to list the renters. This is more applicable with 2 and 3 family, 4 family, lead-based paint. Anything before 1978. So we'll either say not applicable or applicable. See, I'm messing something up here. We'll have to fix that. Point of entry systems. This almost never exists, and this would be disclosed to you if you do. So just say not applicable. Cesspools almost never exist anymore, but they have to be disclosed, and then you would say applicable, but generally not. Most of this is going to be non-applicable. Seller represents the buyers. Cesspool, cesspool, cesspool. They're really against code, more than likely. A much older home or a home that hasn't been sold in many years or an old farm, you're going to encounter this. Then you have to make choices. But most of us, I've never encountered this. Actually encountered it with a seller, but not a buyer. And this is again regarding the seller, what they're going to do to get rid of the cesspool. So the inspections, pretty much, I leave everything blank and let it be to the standard amounts, the times that they say. I think we're pretty much getting to nearly the end. I know I'm kind of boring everyone. I think everything else is pretty self-explanatory. But the thing I had told you earlier is that you need, so this part does get a little, I text, but it's clearly name of firm. So sometimes it says the agent's name first, sometimes. So here you're going to put, and I should stay out of that document and do it over here. Williams Cornerstone. Name of firm, then the representative, my name, just follow the instruction. Or operating this transaction as, in this case, I'm just the buyer's agent. If it was my listing and my buyer, I'd be the disclosed dual agent. So if more than one firm is participating, information supplied by, okay, so the buyer's agent is the one who fills the contract out. So information supplied by, oh no, I'm sorry, if more than one firm is participating in the following, information supplied by the listing agent. It clearly tells you right here. So this part you just go through mindlessly. And that the seller's agent was the one who put up the listing. So there's where you need all that information. This is just now, we should have it so our license number comes up automatically. But what I did, I found out our license number for a brokerage, and I found out our license, I know my license number, but I found out the license number for the brokerage, and I actually put it in the contact in my phone under, where you can put the notes or a company. So we're going to fill out the listing firm's information. This is what I said you have to get from the MLS generally. Do your best on that. If you really can't find it, you can find it out later. But you want your presentation to look as good as possible. Now, if I was selling my own home, I'd have to disclose that I'm the licensee. Attorney review clause. The addendum means the addendum. So when it's a condominium, FHA or VA, let's see, swimming pools, solar panels, 3 or more units, let's say a 4-family, 3-family or 4, private wells, any addendum, which we saw earlier in the paperwork that you may be attaching, you're going to click there. Additional contractual provisions. Now, if the listing says, oh, swing set in the back included, I'm going to put that in the additional, just to be sure. It doesn't have to be. So, sign, date. Now, that says text there. You could put, witness text. I usually just sign myself. I would just drag a signature and sign myself. I'm the witness to this. 2 buyers are going to sign. So here's me. I would drag me a signature over. And I would not put that optional text in. CIS. The only confusing thing about this is universal for both. Now, the good thing is they put the signatures and dates in the correct spot. And they filled out, I'm just double checking, they filled my name out. This I will have to say. Disclose dual agent or buyer's agent or seller's agent are generally what we're going to put on the buyer's agent. And then I'm going to date it again, I guess, down here, even though it states that. And we're done. We hit send, which I don't really want to fill out. We hit send and it goes to our clients. I think hopefully I haven't bored you, and hopefully I've been helpful to some degree. And thanks for joining me. I think we can say goodbye.